Gundam Converge EX18 XS Gundam. Alright guys, just having a bit of fun there. This is going to be an unboxing and review for the Converge XS Gundam. So this is the new one, a newer one in the EX line, EX18. So the EX line is reserved for their larger mobile suits and mobile armors that don't fit into the normal size boxes for the normal releases. So this one really not that much larger. So this one was a little bit on the cheaper end. I think this was around $20. They usually are more around the $30 range. For the EX kits for the much larger ones. So previously in the line they did release the Deep Striker, so I do have the Converge Deep Striker as well. That one's actually packed away, so I can't show you that in this video, unfortunately, but I do have some other Gundam Sentinel Converge figures that I will show you just kind of with this at the end of this video. So at this time we'll just take a look at this, and here's the front of the box and the top of the box. Very nice, almost like Katoki looking design here with the kind of subdued image there. On this side, nothing interesting. On this side, you can see just another image of the figure itself there with the barcode, the Gundam logo. On the bottom, nothing interesting there. On the back here, you can see the figure and just a couple different poses that you can do with it. You can actually hold the gun like in the hand, or you can have it in front of the torso, in front of the waist, as is the kind of very iconic pose of the XS Gundam. So here's also some statistical information there about the Gundam itself, and some other information there in Japanese, and that's pretty much it. So let's open this up. The first bag here looks like some feet, the stand, some hands. We're gonna have some different hand options, which is pretty uncommon for Converge figures. So there's the main body and the arms with the fuel tanks attached on there. Third bag is the backpack, another stand. That's just like the regular stand. If you don't have it up on a stand, there's few other little parts there. And then the last bit here is just the Bandai gum. Won't be eating it this time. Let's put that to the side. And then the instructions for it. Pretty simple instructions for this, as it doesn't really have a transformation. It just has a couple of different options for posing this. So let me get all this stuff put together and we'll see how this guy looks. Alright, so here goes that boy. In one option that I actually didn't notice on the outside of the box, you can actually hold the rifle like this. So there's a couple different hand options. For the right hand, you have an option to hold it in the hand, like on the handle, and there's a different option to hold it on the side of the gun like this. So there's actually like a hole in the side where the hand actually plugs in, and you get these two extra little parts here that are meant to plug in two of the different holes. Now one of them you can see is on the bottom of the gun. There should be a hole there. That's for when you have the gun mounted like in front of the Gundam, and you use that hole. When you're not using that particular pose, you're supposed to plug that hole. And when you're not doing this pose, there's another hole in the side of the gun where you would attach on the hand, and then you can use that other part to plug that hole as well. Now you do also have a few other different option parts as well. You have two different options for the arms, or one other option for the arm, for one of the arms there, for holding the gun actually with the hand on the handle of the gun. The arm that's just attached on there as is just doesn't quite like reach it really well, so you have a different option arm. You have different option parts for the knees, as the knees are now, they're just like kind of straight up. So if you have the gun held like out in front of the Gundam, then those knee parts will get in the way. So you actually have an option set of knee parts which are out at a more forward pointing angle. I'll show you those in a minute. And then you have different options for the feet as well. You have feet that are pointed down. So you have this base which you can use, which will be for it just standing. But I'll change up those option parts and show you the kind of floating pose with the gun held out in front of it here in just a minute. Here's how it's going to look with a couple other options here. There's the S Gundam and the ZakuAurelius Converge figures. So these are looking pretty cool. You can see the colors of the blue, a little tiny, slightly bit different between the S Gundam and the XS. So it's slightly inconsistent in the colors, if that matters to you. You can see there's a couple other small little differences as well. But otherwise, I think they are going to look really cool together. They, of course, do share the similar look. The head also a little bit different. I think that S Gundam is actually from like the older Converge series, where like from the older series to the more recent series, they've kind of changed up things a little bit. I wonder if they have a different designer working on them now. So they have a little bit different style, kind of like comparing the old Converge Cubelate with the newer Converge Cubelate. That was another video I did previously. If you saw my video on the newer Cubelate set or I'm sorry, the new Cubile figure compared with the old set of 3 of them. So there's a little bit of difference between the older style and the newer style. So I think the most notable difference of that you can see there is just in the face. So you can see like the face of the XS is more kind of drawn in there, where you have a very elongated kind of chin part of the S Gundam. So it's just little differences like that in the style, but overall, love both of them. They're really cool. And then here it is with the new different feet, the open hands, and the rifle, different knees as well, and the rifle attached onto the front of the base. So that the base does have, it says like their MSN0011 EXT XS Gundam there molded onto the base, which is pretty cool as well. And so the base plugs up into the crotch of the Gundam, as well as up underneath the gun as well. So it's meant to hold both of them together. If you wanted to have this up on the base and holding the gun in hand, then the base would also have that weird part sticking out the front with nothing on it, so it would look a little bit strange. So it seems like if you do want to have it actually like up floating in the air, this is kind of the pose that you have to be stuck with, or the base will look a little bit odd. But I think this is probably the pose that most people would want to go with anyway. It looks great. It's very iconic of the XS Gundam, so I'm really happy with this. Really great figure. As with all Converge figures, the painting, the pre-painting on them is not perfect. There's a little bits of inconsistencies here and there, overspray in some areas just from the masking of different parts and things like that. And it will look a lot better once it's all panel lined up. So gonna give this a coat of gloss, not right away, but sometime later. Give this a nice gloss coat, do some panel lining on it, paint in some details, add some more decals. It's nice that it does have a couple of pre-printed decals there on the shoulders, but other than that, it could use some more, so it'll be a project to work on sometime in the future. Anyway, I'm happy with this quite a bit. I got this from HLJ, if you guys are wondering where to buy these. Again, I always buy them usually from HobbyLink Japan, or if not, just buying them directly in Japan when I visit there. That's one thing I always like to search for, is Converge figures, so that would be for older ones though. So anyway, thank you guys as always for watching. If you have any other questions or comments about this, leave those down below. See you guys next time. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.